I'm Kristen Cobb, the Executive Director here at Harbison Theater at Midlands Technical College, and boy, are you in for a treat. It's the 2020 MTC Virtual Show-Off, and it felt so good to walk on that stage, guys. It's been a long time since we've been in the theater, and this is the first event we're able to bring to you virtually tonight. So let's talk a little bit about the show-off and how we got here from back in March. So the MTC Show-Off is our way to showcase some of our fabulous MTC students, faculty, and staff who have amazing talents. And they auditioned in the fall and were to perform in March, right when the COVID pandemic hit us. So it was pretty devastating. They were prepared. We were prepared. It was one of the first shows we had to cancel. And so luckily, we have a dream team here at MTC, and we were able to put together, with the help of marketing and media services, some ideas to bring the show off to you virtually, because these folks have been working really hard on their talent, and we wanted you to have an opportunity to see them. So that's how we started. And again, the event was originally planned for March, and here we are, and you now get to vote from home and watch along with the judges. All right, let's talk a little bit also about how the contestants prepared. You're going to see a little bit of difference in some of their interviews, as some were done pre-COVID and some post-COVID. So keep that in mind when you're watching. And also, we do want to mention one of our dear friends who actually participated in the show-off in the first year, because this is the second year of the MTC show-off. His name is Corn Hemingway, and he was a big fan favorite last year and had hoped to participate this year and could not be with us. So from home, give Corn a big thumbs up and round of applause. All right, now I want to welcome tonight our celebrity judges. These folks are just super personalities here in the Columbia and Midlands area and have graciously agreed to be here this evening to judge this phenomenal talent. So let me introduce them to you and bring them to light. Our first judge is D.B. Bonds. D.B. Bonds was the original associate director of Kinky Boots on Broadway. He is the worldwide associate on the show, with credits in Korea, London, Toronto, Japan, Germany, Australia, and the U.S. tour. D.B. is also Jerry Mitchell's associate on Pretty Woman, the musical on Broadway, London, and Germany. As an actor, he performed on Broadway and on tour in such shows as Les Mis, Legally Blonde, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and Phantom of the Opera. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the wonderful and new to Columbia, D.B. Bonds. Thank you, D.B. And now we want to welcome Curtis Wilson. Curtis is no stranger to the Midlands, having served as a longtime media personality in Columbia. He joined the ABC Columbia team back in April of 2018 as their morning anchor. You'll see him on Good Morning Columbia, and that airs Monday through Friday, way too early for me, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., but tune in and check out Curtis. He recently transferred over to the Richland County Coroner's Office, having been with the Richland County Sheriff's Department for over 10 years, and he was a regular contributor to the A&E Network popular show, Live PD. Let's give a big round of applause for Curtis Wilson. And finally tonight, I'd like to welcome Janet Hopkins. The lovely Janet is a dramatic mezzo-soprano and a 20-year veteran of the New York Metropolitan Opera. Ms. Hopkins made her debut at the Met during the 1991-92 season in The Ghost of Versailles and has since returned many times over the years. She's toured Japan 3 times, and while in Japan, garnered much critical acclaim with her series of solo recitals. Away from touring and performing, Janet enjoys her position as a member of the voice faculty at the University of South Carolina right here in Columbia, where she's an associate professor of voice and chair of the voice department. So please, a warm welcome to the lovely Janet Hopkins. Thank you, judges, for being here and for sharing your expertise, and let's cover a few more details. Again, this has been a long time coming, and we're so excited to bring this to you tonight. And the contestants have been working diligently, and this is how it's going to go. They'll perform 5 acts, and then you get an intermission. We're actually going to give you an intermission. You can pop some popcorn, get a little fresh air, take a little break, and then come back for the remaining 5 acts. And then, guess what you need to do? Vote. So, the judges are going to determine our winner tonight, our MTC Show-Off winner, but in this virtual new world, we're letting you decide the MTC fan favorite. So this winner receives $500, lots of money in my book, and they will be chosen by you. So it's very important when you finish watching to go to harbisontheater.org/showoff and start voting. And those of you who are family members and friends of the contestants, Please share that on your social media posts. Let's get a lot of people excited about this because we've worked hard and the contestants have worked hard, and we're so excited to let everybody see what we've been able to put together and you guys can see tonight. So again, harbisontheater.org/showoff to vote. And if you haven't been following us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff, now's the perfect time to do it because we'll be updating and sending you some more information as we move along. And then finally, the winners will completely be announced on November 12th. So we're going to keep you with us for a little while, and we want to make sure that you are completely engaged and find out the winners and the popular choice winner and the fan favorite winner, all of that on November 12th. And we'll have president of the college, Dr. Ronald Rames, to do that. So make sure you stay with us to find out the exciting winners. All right. I think we've covered everything. I usually talk a lot, but I talked a lot more tonight, and thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Let's get on with the show.
So, hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
It's good to see you. I think I'm doing good. I am doing good.
Good.
So a little bit about you, like where were you born?
I was born in South Carolina here, of course. I've been raised here all my life. I was raised in West Columbia till I was about like 2, and then I moved to Lexington.
And so you are homeschooled?
Homeschooled, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Homeschooled.
And you are how old?
19.
So you've spent 2 years in West Columbia and 17 years in Lexington County? Well, that was West Columbia is Lexington County.
West Columbia till I was about 6 or 7, then we moved to Lexington, so yeah.
Okay, and what are you studying at MTC?
Right now I'm taking my prerequisites to get into Greenville Tech, so I'm taking like basic math, English, history, public speaking, so I can get into Greenville Technical College.
How's the public speaking?
It's good. I just did my my second midterm speech yesterday. So
is it easier playing music and singing than public speaking?
Oh yes, definitely. Because with singing, you know exactly what you're doing. With public speaking, it's kind of different. So.
I hear you. That sounds awesome. So you're kind of from. Are you a pastor's kid?
Yes.
So talk a little bit about your family, which I know a little bit about is intriguing.
Well, I was raised in a pastor's home ever since my dad was associate pastor when I was 2, up until I was 2. And then he became the pastor of the church that he grew up in. So he's been the pastor there now for about 16 years now. So I've been a pastor's kid all my life. Grew up singing. My mom plays the piano. And when I was 7, my mom said, all right, kids, we're going to get around the piano. And we started singing from then on. And during school, when we were homeschooled, she would always take us after lunch. She would send us down for about 30 minutes every day, and we would practice singing.
So would y'all have to pay her to teach you how to sing?
No.
She did it for free?
No, we would have paid her not to teach us how to sing it sometimes, I'm
now
sure.
you probably, and when you're 25, you're going to be really...
Oh, I'm thankful now.
So y'all all are, is everybody in your family musical?
Yeah, definitely. Well, my father, he's musical. He can carry a tune, but he doesn't really sing with us. So.
But he's like your big supporter,
Oh,
right?
he's front row.
Do y'all sing every Sunday in church?
No, we don't. Okay. We try not to sing every Sunday, but every now and then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so you play other instruments, right?
I play guitar and mandolin. Took 2 years of piano, but never really got into it. So
in your audition, you play the guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but tonight you're not playing the guitar,
no,
you're singing.
I'm just singing.
We're going to get back to that in a second. So talk to me about what your future is going to be as far as a career, if it's not singing.
Well, I would love it, but you know, right now I'm doing this so I can get into Greenville. I'm here at Midland so I can get into Greenville. What I'm doing at Greenville is I'm going to be taking an avionics course.
What is does that start with an A?
Yes, it does.
What is avionics?
It's pretty much you're specializing in airplane technology. So I'll be working on the technology in airplanes like the radio, GPS systems, all the controls and stuff like that. So
that sounds complicated. Did you tell me that you came from a family of pilots?
My dad, he had his pilot's license. He's not current right now. My grandfather and my dad's pastor my grandfather and my dad's pastor were both flight instructors.
So you got genetics for flying and genetics for music.
We'll see.
That's an interesting combination. Somehow I'm sure they're related.
Maybe.
So tell me what you're going to be performing tonight.
You Raised Me Up.
You Raised Me Up. Is that the Josh Groban song?
Mm-hmm.
What we call the Josh Groban? Did he write it?
I have no idea.
Okay, but he made it kind of famous.
Yes, he did.
Is there any particular reason you chose this piece?
Because it's an inspirational song, and I wanted to sing something that was more Christian based. And I feel like during this time right now, during school and going through the struggles of, trying to keep your grades up. But God, He's always there whenever I fall down. Whenever I'm down, He's there to raise me up.
Excellent. So it's perfect.
Yes.
Well, I'm really excited for these folks to hear you tonight, and
I'm excited.
congratulations.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas, and I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas, and I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas, and I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be, and I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Jonathan, really, really beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I've sung that song before, and it is a rangy song.
Yes, sir.
It shows quite an impressive vocal range. Why did you choose the song?
Well, right now in my life, I'm kind of starting a new chapter, going to school, moving out on my own, and just I haven't seen. I've only been here for 19 years on this earth, and I haven't seen all there is. So things that new obstacles, just times when I don't know what to do, and thinking that I know I can't do it on my own. So God has to raise me up. I can't do it in my own strength. So I trust in Him. That's why I chose this song.
Who were your vocal idols?
That's kind of hard. There's a lot of good vocalists out there. I love. I would say David Phelps is a great singer.
Say that. Yes, he's a
I can't really think of many. I mean, there's so many. Josh Groban, he's also good, good singer as well. I mean, there's a lot of singers, but I would have to say probably David Phelps.
Yeah. Really, I mean it. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, sweet, smooth, silky tone. Really, really nice. You know, in a theater background that I come from, sometimes when somebody has an easy voice, that I will direct actors and I'll say, make me feel like it's harder for you to sing. And you're blessed with a really, really beautiful range.
Thank you.
So as you grow, I mean, healthfully do that. Don't really make it hard to sing, but make us feel it.
Okay.
By what you're singing, the words you're singing, know what you're singing, and put a little more gas on the fire maybe than you have to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fantastic, really
Thank
beautiful.
You. Thank you.
Curtis.
DB, thank you much. And Josh, you're awesome. Josh. Okay, I know it's Jonathan, but dang it, when you sing that song, boy, it's so close to Josh Groban. That's saying a lot, when you do that.
Thank you.
I was amazed. And like DB said, it was so soothing, the way that you sang that song. And you had control of your voice the whole 9 yards. It was really, really good for me, and I thought it was a great one. And I want like an encore. I want to hear more because of that voice that you have. But if I had to add anything to what he said, like he said, the song is such a powerful song. From the waist up, you had it, but just move that, just get into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do that, and you're young, so that's gonna come with the stage presence. But you definitely have that voice. A voice, I wish I could sing like that. I'd have all the girls. You are a singer going someplace. Keep doing what you do. Awesome job, all right?
Thank you. Praise
Let's
the
swing it over. Miss Janet's gonna tell you now.
That was just stunningly beautiful. A flawless use of going into your falsetto voice and coming back down without any kind of a glitch occurring. Beautifully done. That's a lot harder than it sounds to do. So kudos to you. You gave me goosebumps when you took that third transposition. It was like, okay. I just have to look at what I wrote because I'm so mesmerized. I wrote beautiful artist, an awesome use of your voice and your character. Make sure that the eyes stay open enough to keep contact, because as soon as you close them, you can get into yourself more, but you separate us. And I want to have that connection at all times with you. Just seamless, beautiful singing.
Praise the Lord.
Good job.
So I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I was born and raised. I went to Huntley Park Elementary, Berkeley Middle School, and I graduated from Berkeley High School. So I actually was a bridge student at USC, so I took all of my academic classes at Midlands Tech, which was awesome for a first-year student. I transferred over to USC. Thanks to Midlands' help, I made it. So it actually started in middle school. I was experimenting. I started off playing in strings, violin, found out it wasn't for me. Went to percussion in the band. Percussion section was terrible. The band director separated us. He put me next to the saxophone section. I listened to them play. I was like, man, it sounds so pretty. And I started my career the next year as a saxophonist. So I'll be performing Roar by Katy Perry. I'm looking forward to playing it. It's a very upbeat song. It's something different. It's something that you don't expect a saxophonist to play.
great. Really great, Gerald. Now, what made you want to play the saxophone to Roar?
Well, it's more of a confidence boost. You know, Roar is a song that's talking about self-confidence, you know, breaking that shell, coming out out of your inner bubble. So for me, it was just, I feel like I have so much room to grow, and sometimes I may doubt my own personal playing skills. So it's as if more finding something that could boost my confidence, and not just my confidence, but everybody who hears me play, just knowing that yes, I'm going to roar. I'm going to continue to strive to be successful.
You did roar. You were successful. Who are your musical influences?
So for me, I think that my musical influences would be some people like Ray Charles, definitely Stevie Wonder. You know, people who are impaired but still pursue that musical career and done it successfully. So,
you are an impressive man.
Thank you so much.
Great answers. Fantastic performance. Just great. You were just a pleasure to be in the room with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think, Curtis?
Thanks, Stevie. What I think, oh, Gerald, song is the bomb. Love that song. It's always been one of my favorites because it is such a positive song. And then for you to do it with a saxophone, because you know the saxophone is a sexy instrument. So I can see myself being romantic, listening to the saxophone in that song and you playing it. Pretty cool stuff. I wouldn't do it otherwise, but that was awesome. And then when you had that build up to the climax of it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you hit that note, chills in my arms. Chills in my arms. And I'm still talking about the sax. Sax. S-A-X. Sax. It was awesome job. Awesome job. Loved it. And also going into the military. What branch?
Air Force.
Air Force. Outstanding. Army here. I wish you well in that career. And thank you so much for about to serve our country and do what you do. My man, drive on.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous job. I am definitely going to address a couple things because I can't help it as a musician, and I love your sax playing. You have a beautiful mellow tone and great breath control. I almost thought, was like, is he circular breathing? He wouldn't do that to me, would he? But you just had great breath control on it. Be very careful when you do the transition, the key change, not to overblow, because you got so much into it. Make sure that you're always staying in control so that intonation is like spot on in that key change. Every so often when you kept your eyes closed, and I know musicians do it more, I shouldn't say that, instrumentalists do it more than singers. Be careful, because I want to see kind of more into you, and I would love for you to open your eyes a little bit more so I can like connect with you even more than I already did through that beautiful playing. So great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much.
So, can you tell us where you were born and where you grew up?
I was born in Columbia, South Carolina. I grew up in Columbia. Have family in the Low Country, Utahville, Charleston area. So it's a blended city, country, life for me.
I like that. Yeah, that was yeah. So, what is your affiliation actually with MTC?
I am in the dual enrollment program at my high school. So I take the college courses as well as my high school courses, and my teachers come over to the school.
So the college, your courses, they're taught by MTC faculty?
Yes.
And then will you go to MTC when you have that option?
I have the option. I haven't really thought about it, but I do have the option to go.
Well, you're only 16. You don't have to think about it. You're right. Do it later. So I hear that you are from a huge musical family, and then when they hear you sing tonight, they will understand that. Talk a little bit about growing up in that scenario.
Oh man, all of my family, they sing, every single last person. Not just singing though, but instruments, from the piano to the guitar, drums, anything you name, they can do it. Vocally, our family members, whenever we get the chance to sing together, our voices mesh and they blend, and it's like a nice experience to be in. But being around that really, I guess, made me become the vocalist musician that I am today.
So when y'all get together, is it like there's no doubt y'all gonna be singing and there's gonna be music?
Yes, even if it's not planned, somehow we end up singing together. We'll be playing a card game, and then someone starts humming, and then we'll join in, and then it just happens.
Well, one of the things that I was really intrigued about is when you auditioned, you did a piece from a film musical, Hairspray.
Yes.
And we talked a little bit about why you chose that song. You're not doing that song tonight, but you're doing something similar. What is that? What do you like about all those musicals?
Oh, so Hairspray, my favorite musical, is because I love music, but also because the historical aspect behind it. It talks about the story of Jim Crow and the mistreatment of African Americans, and in television and in society, just everyday life. But it also tells a story from a musical aspect. So it's a win for me, I guess, because I love history too. So.
That was beautifully said. I totally agree with you 100%. So tonight, can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing tonight?
So I'll be doing a stand-up by Cynthia Erivo from the movie Harriet. This song is very powerful because it tells the story of Harriet Tubman and just her courage and her strength for, leading her people to freedom, even if it was at any cost. She did what she had to do.
And it's a great choice. I'm very excited for these folks to hear you and that history of all those family genetics coming out of that voice. We're so glad to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I've got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it. freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Journey, way to go. I got to tell you, love the name, love the outfit. You're looking so beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. You did a song. It takes you back to the motherland and also the struggles, the trials and tribulations that we're still dealing with today. And of course, the graphics that you showed there, telling a story of troubled times and still going through those as well. And then you did it for the culture. But I got to ask you, what made you decide to choose this particular song?
Initially, it was going to be for Harriet Tubman's birthday in March. So that was my tribute to her. And then, COVID or whatever. And then as things started to progress in our nation and just the reoccurrence of all of the systemic racism and the lives that were lost, all types of different things, I felt the pull to do this song, even though it wasn't, her birthday. I couldn't let it up because it was just heavy on my heart. It's the story of my people, and I feel as though if I can get it out in me and to everybody else, then maybe people will start to see and start to actually realize that it's really a big deal.
Well, you sang it with a lot of emotion. Love your voice as well, by the way.
Thank
Great
you.
job on that. And high school?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, girl. Knocking it out. Journey, y'all. Shoot. Do me a favor. We're going to turn your attention over to Miss Janet. She's got a few words for you, too.
Thank you.
Amazing job, especially for your age. That's terrific. I felt so much depth in your voice, and when you were connecting the text, I need you to really keep your eyes open.
Yes,
I know that when you close them, we can pull in and find more power, but then you weaken your force that you want to put out to me. And I would have felt even more power from you if you had just kept those eyes open. Kind of like what I'm doing, looking at you, right? It's got a little bit more power, and I think that piece really carries a lot of power and a lot of weight. So it'll shut any venue down where you can be delivering that. Keep that front ring in those low notes, because you have a low voice and it's gorgeous. I don't want to lose the tone in that just because it's a little bit softer down there. So keep your bite in that voice down there. Beautiful, beautifully done.
Thank you.
JB? Davey, oh my goodness.
That's okay. Journey. First of all, I echo what Janet said about the eyes. That's a big thing for me too. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and you definitely have a big soul in there. So don't block us out.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it feels good to the singer, but we want to go like, what's she thinking? Why is she? Yeah. I just am amazed. I actually wrote on my pad, I was like, how old is she?
I'm 17.
Woo! That is crazy. And you already, you just sing from a place that you can't teach. You can't teach what you have. God gave it to you, and you cannot teach it. It's so, so beautiful. I mean to tell you, it is the soul and that low register is like a perfectly tuned string instrument. I mean, it was just like, it made me rumble. I mean, it's astounding.
Thank you.
Don't be messing up her mascara. It costs money.
Fantastic.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate all of your support, and I felt the love on stage. I love the fact that you helped me be here. It's less intimidating. So thank you so much, you guys, for the encouragement and the support. I really appreciate it.
Good job.
Always.
Well, hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Well, let's talk a minute about what your affiliation is with MTC.
Well, I'm an engineering adjunct professor at the Northeast campus.
At Northeast. So tell us a little bit about where you were born and your career. Because, you're only 28, but, you've had a little bit to do. You've had some time in there to have a career, 28 years, right?
Yeah. I was born in the little town of Walla Walla, Washington, out in southeastern Washington, which is a farming town. And I wanted to go to college, become an architect. So Vietnam was going hot and heavy when I graduated from high school. So I joined the Navy to get the GI Bill initially, and went into the nuclear power program in submarines, and ended up making it a career in the Navy. I found out while I was in that I could apply to go to college, and that they would help offset the cost. So they sent me to 4 years of college at the University of Washington, got my degree while I was in the Navy, and I retired after 21 years.
And so there's got to be some music in there somewhere since you're a musician.
Well, I played music in grade school. My grandfather played guitar. I was in an Italian community. Every weekend, every holiday was food, drink, and music.
So my guess is that you're Italian with the name Cristiano.
Very much.
Like big time Italian.
Big time.
So was there somebody who inspired like your musicianship? A lot of musicians were saying, oh yeah, I like so-and-so or this.
My grandfather primarily, because when I was in the 6th grade, he asked me if I'd like to have one of his guitars. And I was playing flute in school band, and he said, would you like one of my guitars? So I said, sure. And before I knew it, I was learning to play rhythm guitar, and some cousins of mine who were also my age lived right in our same neighborhood. We ended up forming a garage band, and we were playing started playing for like nursing homes and supermarket openings and things like that. Okay. But then we ended up playing, by the time we got done, we still couldn't drive yet. Our parents had to haul us around, but we were playing for college fraternities, homecomings, high school dances, junior high dances, and local weekend dances and stuff in the community.
So what are you going to be performing tonight?
I'm going to be performing, and this is kind of unique because I never considered myself a songwriter, but one of the guys in our church is a very prolific poet. He's self-published several books of poetry, and he's involved with the youth and that kind of stuff. So every now and then in church, he'll get up and before he makes an announcement, he'll say, Tuesday night I couldn't sleep, so I got up and I wrote this. And it might be something whimsical, it might be something spiritual, it might be just a poem about something. And he got up on Sunday and read this poem called Straightening Out. And so I looked at him and I said, Tony, his name's Tony Pishoff. I said, can I have a copy of that? And I said, I'm not a songwriter, but I'd just like to have a copy of it. So I started trying to put music to it, and to no avail. And I was just commenting, today's the 5th of March, just coincidentally. It's raining today. On the 4th of March of last year, it was a Sunday afternoon and it was raining. And I went up to my music room to give it one more attempt and said, I'm really not a songwriter, but I'm gonna try it. So I went up to my music room to play music and pulled it out. And 3 hours later, I came out with this song that I'm gonna perform called Straightening Out.
Has Tony heard the song?
Yes.
Does he give it a thumbs up?
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, I'm really excited for these folks to hear tonight because you're really great. And I also love original music, so this is a double whammy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I was wrong, I was young, I was too headstrong. My head hung where it didn't belong. As I drifted, trying to find my own way, just grinding out day after day, seeking solace in the arms that held no love for me, until I opened up my eyes and allowed myself to see. This life that I've been given was made just for me, but the life that I've been living would never be worth one plug nickel if I didn't change and take good care to straighten out my ways, seeking solace in the arms that held no love for me, until I opened up my eyes and allowed myself to see. I was wrong, I was young, I was too headstrong. My head hung where it didn't belong. As I drifted, trying to find my own way, just grinding out day after day, just grinding out day after day. Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Loved it. I love the peacefulness of it. You wrote the song?
I co-wrote it. I did the music and arrangement. My co-writer is Tony Pishoff up there that we were given a hard time about. Tony is a poet and a prose writer, and
is a member of our church, and he stood up one Sunday and recited this. And I didn't consider myself a songwriter, but I asked him if I could have a copy of it, and this is what I came up with.
That's wonderful. I wonder what the inspiration is behind it. And did he share that with you, and did you take that on yourself in the performance since you wrote the music for it?
I was looking for something that fit the lyrics. And so I rearranged his prose and actually did it. I worked on it for a year and totally unsuccessful. And one Sunday, and I remember it very well, it was March 3rd. It was a Sunday, and it was raining. And I went up to my music room and I said, I'm going to go play some music and relax. And I thought, I'm going to give it one more shot. 3 hours later, this is what I came out with.
It's beautiful. Beautiful song. I loved hearing a mandolin, a little bit different in the combo than I'm used to hearing. It was nice to hear that. So great job.
These two guys are awesome musicians.
Absolutely, they are.
And good friends. I've known them for a long time. So.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
DB?
Great job. Really great job. Very, you got a Johnny Cash vibe going on there, which is a good thing. I love the fact that you were so inspired by just hearing that poem that you wanted to write it, and I think it's funny. You know, Billy Joel tells that story about having writer's block and not knowing what to write about, and a waiter came up to his table one day and he said, "Well, what'll it be, Mr. Joel? A bottle of red, bottle of white?" He went, "Oh, thank you." So there you go.
I never considered somebody asked me one time way back, because I've been playing guitar since I was in 6th grade. Somebody said, "Do you write?" And I said, there's too many songs out there that I still have to learn that I don't consider myself a writer. And so far I've written 2 songs, and both of them were, this one just kind of came together in 3 hours. The first one came to me, and I wasn't even expecting to do it. I wasn't even attempting to write a song. So
yeah, well, I mean, I'm in a similar position too. I've written a few songs over the pandemic, and somebody said to me, they said, you know, I said I'm not a songwriter, and they said, well, yeah, you are. You you write one song, and you're a songwriter.
Yep.
I agree with Janet too. You can give me anything with a mandolin in it, and I'm hooked. Really, really cool vibe.
And believe it or not, this guy he's a product of USC music, but he's a fiddle player. He won the South Carolina State Fiddle Championship.
Wow.
And so you can imagine if he plays mandolin this good, how good he is on fiddle. So
yeah, wow. That's cool. So, and do you guys always play? Are you a normal trio or
no?
Fantastic.
No, I've known these guys, and I started putting together my first album effort, recording effort. I've never recorded anything before, and so I needed. I was recording 2 bluegrass tunes that the mandolin player was the low tenor that sang with Carolina Bluegrass when I was with them way back, and he passed away from throat cancer. And so I was looking for somebody to sing the low tenor, and Dave happened to be there, and he said, "I would love to do that." And I said, "Well, then I also need a bass player, so that's good." So then I needed to find a mandolin player, and somebody said, "Get Jimmy," and I went, "Okay." So we recorded the 2 bluegrass tunes, and the group of 5 of us came up with what instrumentation to put to this piece, because I had only played it by myself. So with their effort, we came up with this trio effort. So
beautiful, beautiful job, beautiful arrangement. So I'm going to pitch it to Curtis.
Thank you, DB. I got to tell you, here's the thing. Brian Castellano, right?
Cristiano.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing. You started playing with the trio, and I pictured myself in some villa in Italy, because it sounded so good like that. Then you started singing, and DB hit it right on the point. Johnny Cash meets Italy. So it was pretty cool. Then I'm thinking, Cowboys, Villa, bottle of vino. Sounded so good.
Sounds good to me.
Really did. And it was so relaxing the song was. And the words, of course, went so great with this music. So I give it to you guys on that one. It was really good. And look forward to some more from you guys. And you might want to think about staying in a trio, because it was awesome. And could you, sir, in the back, go ahead and play a little Devil Goes Down to Georgia for me. Thank you, guys.
So what are your future plans?
My future plans is to honestly just be successfully in myself.
So I was just curious, are there athletics involved in hip hop dancing? Have you done athletics?
Yes, you should do athletics because as far as if you're a hip hop dancer, you should work out. I don't work out as much as I should.
When you choreograph, do you start with the lyrics to a song and then choreograph, or how does that work?
I honestly go somewhere dark and I just go with the beat. I listen to the beat and then the words comes next. So whatever my body feels with the beat, I tend to do that first.
Well, we are so glad you're here and we're so excited to see you. And
Thank
your
you.
beat tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes. I'm excited.
I'm going back to the south. I'm going back, 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 back. Where my roots ain't watered down. Growing like a baobab tree of life on fertile ground. My ancestor put me on game. On charm, on gold chains. With my old shoon in a jail. Drip all on me. Uncle da shiki print. Hola, donuts, smell like such a non-chopper instant. Yeah, pure ice, 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 ice. Bust down, flood it, flood it, flood it, flood it. On my wrist out.
It's different, 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 it's different. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was in the air from the beginning, even if you wasn't mine. Scared to admit my shortcomings led to overdraft in this affair. Declining quicker than we started. Evidence we misalignment, not get more in love with you each argument. Something wrong with me. I like the way you screw your face up, trigger me right when I need it. You wrong, but I can't get on without you. It's a shame and I can't blame myself. Keep it loving you, you do it this. All that I know is,
baby. Seem like everywhere I go, I see you. From your eyes, your smile is like I breathe you. Helplessly, I reminisce, don't want to compare nobody to you.
Yes, so crazy right now. Most incredibly, it's your girl, B. It's your boy, Young.
You ready?
It gets better, ordered another round. It's about to go down. Got 6 model chicks, 6 bottles of Chris, 4 Belladance, got weed everywhere. What did you say? Eat you in your Chloe glasses. We go backstage where we can discuss fashion like Prada blouse, Gucci, Terry moving the dress. Take that off.
Caddy, blow your horn now. Give it up for J.R. Caddy, blow that horn. Oh, and make it funky. Let me clear my home. I hope you don't mind. Give me some more. You bad girl. Chris. Tia. All together, ladies. Looking so crazy, my baby.
I'm tired, y'all.
Chandrell.
I can't breathe.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
You need a towel and some Gatorade.
It's right there. It's right there.
Did she not work it? Yeah. All right. I'm telling you. I got it from my mama. Lots of energy. You got to be in shape for that because you're talking about a whole bunch of minutes of a lot of crazy dance moves.
Yes, sir.
What do you like? What are you aspiring to be? You want to be like a dancer, backup dancer for like Beehive? What?
Actually, I just want to be my greatest self. That's it. I don't want to be any specific thing.
Yeah.
I just want to do what makes me happy and what's my greatest potential.
Now I got to ask you another question that's going to make you talk for like 60 seconds straight. Can you do it? No, I'm just joking. I know you're trying to catch your breath, but I tell you, it seems as though the choreography, was that all you?
Yes, sir. And I'm going to have a transparent moment. Actually, the first beginning was choreographed. The rest that you all saw was freestyle.
Freestyle?
Yes, sir.
Spur of the moment. Outstanding. Great job. Great energy. Definitely wish you well in your future endeavors, whatever that may be. But yeah, the dancing part.
Thank you so much.
Caliente. I'm
Thank you.
gonna switch this over to Janet right now. Get a comment from her.
Okay, fabulous job. I loved watching you love what you do. And what else could we ask in this world than to be able to express ourselves and love what we do? And it was so obvious. I loved when you switched your facial expressions because then that kept us really interested in what you were doing. I don't have the right terminology, but I love the dancer named Twitch, and I loved when you did little twitches in there. It was awesome that you combined so many styles. It was just fun to watch you and to elevate out of myself and just share that with you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And DB?
So good. I mean, I would have liked a little more energy. I'm joking. That was a joke. that was a joke. Really, really great job. Who are some of your idols?
I love Beyonce. I love her.
Who doesn't?
Artist, my number one artist I would love to work with is Chris Brown. He's really good. He's a really overall artist that I really want to work with one day. But any opportunity I would love to have.
Yeah. Those are really good people. And it's like Janet said. It's when you watch a performer who's having such a good time and so comfortable with what they're doing. It's part of a performance, a live performance, is not only having fun, but also making your audience feel like they're taken care of, like they don't have to worry about you.
Yes, sir.
Because when you put us at ease, it's so much easier to have to be let into what you're doing.
Connected, yes,
and that was fantastic. The only teeny little thing that I would suggest, it's a personal preference,
yes,
is in the transitions, in the musical transitions. Again, you want an audience to. You never want an audience to go, "Ooh, are we supposed to clap yet? Is it finished?" So if you can make those more obvious, I think that the end result of the reaction from a live audience, when we're lucky enough to have a true big live audience, would be greater, because you're just waiting for that champagne cork to pop at the end. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Great job. Really fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all.
Hi there, it's Kristen again. I hope you're enjoying the show. We sure are enjoying watching and judging away with you. Just want to make a quick note that this MTC family loves all of y'all so much. We have really enjoyed working with the contestants, the judges, and quite frankly, the whole MTC team that helped put this together. So from Harbison Theater, thank you. The theater is an important part of the college, and we really, really appreciate the support. So guess what? You got 5 more performances coming up, and then what do you do after that? Say it with me. Vote. harbisontheater.org/showoff. So stay tuned and get ready to vote. 5 more acts coming up.
Well, Star, it's so good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Larry, how are you doing?
Well, I'm good. So a few things about you, like where were you born?
I was born in Port Arthur, Texas, and I moved to South Carolina about a year after that. So I grew up in South Carolina.
So you're considering yourself sort of a Carolina girl?
Yes, I'm definitely part South Carolinian, part New Yorker by way of Texas.
That's slightly complicated, but so are you. So are you.
No.
What are you doing at MTC? What's your affiliation with the school?
I'm doing continuing education and I'm studying computer technology.
Computer technology. So so you can combine the music career and the technology, maybe?
Absolutely. You need
Good.
technology, and there's all kinds of apps and programs that you use to record music. So they go hand in hand.
And everybody's using those these days. You are correct.
Absolutely.
So I know for a fact that you started in live theater, which of course is my love, and you've ended up with a singing career. How did that trajectory transpire?
Well, so after studying theater at Northeast High School, right here in Columbia, we took for Colored Girls around the state. We competed in a lot of competitions, and I really fell in love with theater. And so I moved to New York and majored in theater at Marymount Manhattan College. After that, I left that school and just sang, in New York City, and I worked and I lived in New York, and New York will always be one of my loves. And so that's how that happened.
And so here you are.
Yes.
Here you are back in South Carolina. We're glad you're here. So I'm just curious, what are you performing this evening?
Tonight I'm performing Like a Star by Corinne Bailey Rae, and I just really love her approach to music, so I can't wait for the audience to hear it.
Neither can
I'm
I.
excited.
I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so excited for them to hear you. You're so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This place is wonderful, and so are you, Larry.
Just like a star that's in the sky, just like an angel off the page, you have appeared to my life. Feels like I'll never be the same. Just like a song in my heart, just like oil on my hands, only to love you. Still I wonder why it is I don't argue like this with anyone but you. We do it all the time. Oh, when I'm unbound, you got this look I can't describe. You make me feel I'm alive when everything else is so fake. Without a doubt, you're on my side. Heaven has been way too long. Can't find the words to write this song of your love. Still, I wonder why it is I don't argue like this with anyone but you. We do it all the time. Oh, when I'm on mine. Yeah, yeah. Na, na, na. 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 I have come to understand the way it is. It's not a secret anymore, 'cause we've been through that before. From tonight I know that you're the only one. I've been confusing in the dark. Now I understand. Argue like this with anyone. angel watching over me. Just like a song, just like oil.
That was a superb example of vocal storytelling. I didn't even have to think about your voice. It was sultry. It just, it made me want my husband and a bottle of wine right next to me.
I'm so happy
and that's
about
a real
that.
compliment. So let me tell you, that was just amazing voice, amazing singing, an amazing connection. That it just sounded like you were actually composing it while you were singing. It was just so deep.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing that. That
Thank
was
you.
wonderful.
Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah, that's a compliment. That's a major compliment.
DB?
Star.
Yes.
That's an apropos name. Yeah, that is, I hope my microphone wasn't on during the performance because there's a lot of
I like
going
those.
on over here. Yeah, I wrote PB, which when I judge singers in New York and actors in New York, that's a thing that I write on my audition pages, and that means phone book, meaning I could listen to you sing the phone book. Wow. And that is, that your tone, the breath in your sound, the pocket. You know, a lot of singers don't appreciate the importance of being in the pocket in pop music, in R&B, and they get out of sync, and just that four on the floor pop feeling, rock R&B feeling is, and exactly what Janet said too. And all of that normally doesn't come with somebody who also knows what they're singing about and feels the lyrics. If you can't tell, I really, really, really liked it.
Thank you.
Curtis.
Thank you.
Star, what can I say that they haven't yet? But I got a question.
Yes.
Do you have to have talent to be to enroll in MTC? It's like everybody is so talented here. What the Christmas? It's so good. Now, okay.
Yes.
On top of that, thank you so much for singing that song to me. I mean, for us, for us. It was awesome. It was amazing. And like she said, sultry. The voice, you can sit and listen to it as you sing. You know, like I work on radio, so play on all these songs. You sang it just like that, like it was a video. Like I felt your passion, I felt the love, I felt the anguish. Everything that song meant is there. You know what I mean? Are you in love?
Yeah, on many levels.
You know,
I'm in love with my life.
The reason why I asked that is because you sang that song like you know it. You embraced it. It was like your song, which I love. And you, my dear, star.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome
Thank
job.
You, Curtis. No, Columbia has so much talent. Columbia has
No,
so much
Midlands
talent.
Tech. That's all I'm seeing here.
And yes, Midlands Tech. You know, it's the talented of the talented. Yes, thank you. And I love what I've learned so far.
So Dalen, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, let me ask you a question. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Swansea, South Carolina.
Swansea, South Carolina. Is that like a long way from here?
Good 45 minutes.
So it's a good 45 minutes. So what are you doing at MTC? What are you studying?
I'm studying to get my associates in the arts so I can transfer.
Okay, so where are you thinking? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So a couple things I do know about you. So you obviously play bass. Am I right about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I'm smarter than I thought I was. So how did that journey for you happen? Did you start playing bass when you were like 3 years old or something?
No, that's actually my friend Jalen, the drummer in the group.
Oh, Jalen's going to be playing with you tonight.
Yeah.
Good.
He actually started when he was super duper young, but me myself, I started in 5th grade on upright bass, and middle school to play upright bass a little bit, but then once I started high school, I decided to transfer over to electric bass.
And you've been sticking with electric bass since then. So what's the plan? What happens next?
I plan on going to Berklee School of Music, and I want to be able to major in performance and also theory, just so I can know what I'm playing also while I'm playing it.
Sounds good. So you're going to know all aspects of it. That makes sense. So what are y'all performing tonight?
Honestly, there's really no name for the song. It's just something that we kind of came up with.
So it's an original song.
Yeah.
So this is the no-name original song that you're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm real excited for these folks to hear you because you guys are great, and you will be going to Berklee. There is no doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
I got to tell you. Generation Z, I like what you did on stage, no question about it. That piece that you did was an original piece, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it indicative to the movement? Because you got the shirts on too.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, it was something that we came up with a while ago, and we just had an opportunity to show it off.
Outstanding. You showed it off. You played that bass like Bootsy Collins, but I can tell you, your partner, the drummer over there, you remind me of John Blackwell. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this guy. Great drummer, played for Prince, Patti LaBelle, so many great artists, and he's from right here in Columbia, South Carolina. You were thrown down. You lost your stick. You didn't lose a beat, though. You kept up with it. Then you had wood flying everywhere. Then you had somebody in the audience who should have been your backup dancers because they were making all kinds of noise. Awesome job. I give it to you guys. Great performance. Janet, I'm going to pitch it over to you for your comments.
Awesome job, guys. I was really impressed. One of the things I wrote down was that I loved it that I had more than just one of my senses stimulated by listening and watching you. So I had the visual. You were going crazy. I loved it. I just loved it. Because if we see you enjoying yourself while you're performing, it makes us relax and enjoy the performance. If we feel like you're stressed or agitated at all, it'll take away the joy. So I loved it. And you were just calm. You were calm. And you were going crazy. And I loved it. And then, of course, the visual with the wood going all over, that was fabulous. I felt the vibration in the seat, so I really felt like I was connected to you in a lot of ways. I really loved the performance. I've never seen anybody have the lead instrument that's on the track instead of live and maybe having the bass. So it was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, that works. I've never seen that before. So creative and individual and fabulous. Loved it.
Thank you.
DB?
You guys, amazing job, really amazing. First of all, with the music that we weren't hearing live, did you write that as well?
Our friend Cam did. He actually plays piano, and he played the piano part. And he, with the piano, you can have all these different sounds, and he just added in the different sounds through Logic. It's a recording, yeah. And then he cut the bass out for us, and then all we had was the little click in the back, and then everything else, and then we filled in the other parts.
Yeah. How would you describe your style if somebody said, "What style of music do you guys play?"
Any.
Yeah, everything.
Any and all genres.
Any and all. I mean, how about that piece? How would you describe it?
That'd be a little bit of rock, wouldn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
Rock.
I would say rock, but
rock. Yeah, it was really great. I mean, I know I heard you say you hoped nobody saw the sticks. I love seeing the sticks fly. I'm a singer, and if you're not spitting, you're not singing. So,
funny thing is, the stick that I broke was the heaviest stick that I had in my bag.
You used all the sticks?
I picked up the heaviest stick in my bag. I noticed something about stick fell. I was like, oh shoot, let me grab a stick. But the stick I picked up was the heaviest.
Yeah, you were like
then
a
I
tennis
seen
player
it break. I was like,
over there. Yeah, really, really great job. The only one thing that, and it's just a personal opinion, that I would love to see, because it's such a unique style, and that we're only seeing the bass and the drummer, I would love to see a little bit more connection between you guys. A little fun interplay between you when you play, because as Janet said, if you're enjoying it, we enjoy it even more. But you're so comfortable, you're so talented, so solid, wonderful job.
Thank you.
Well, hey, Taylor, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Well, let's learn a little bit about you. So, what is your affiliation with MTC?
I'm a nursing major, mainly at the airport campus.
And are you doing anything in nursing now on the side?
Yeah, I work full-time at Baptist Surgery, Baptist Hospital, so it's fun.
So what do you do at Baptist Surgery?
I do a lot of receptionist work, answer the phone, kind of go into rooms when they need me. So kind of getting that medical terminology under my belt. So yes, sir.
And how's that going?
It's fun. It's exciting.
So you're going to have a career.
I hope so.
If it's not in music, it's in nursing.
Hopefully, cross
Yeah.
my fingers.
So where did you grow up?
I am a Yankee. I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, you are.
Yes, I am. Sorry, y'all.
Where in New Jersey?
South Jersey.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how did the whole music? You're a singer.
Mhm.
How did
Yes,
that whole career get started? I mean, you're not that old, but
Yeah, I guess so. I feel old, but so I had 2 karaoke machines down in my basement that I got for Christmas because I was very influenced. Like that was the time like Britney Spears, Kelly Clarkson came up. That was just NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Like that's my life. And so I'd sing in the basement, top of my lungs, and I kind of got the courage. I was like, Mom, I really want singing lessons. Little Taylor, 8 years old. And she really didn't take it too seriously. And for Christmas, she made me like a cute little note saying like, you're gonna be taking singing lessons at the start of the new year. So kind of started from there, and then here I am.
so just curious, who did you take singing lessons from?
The last person I took singing lessons with in New Jersey was named Sal Dupree.
And would we know that person?
He was in a 1960s group called the Duprees. Yes, sir.
I actually know that group.
Yes.
'Cause I was living then.
Yeah.
I was living then. So what are you singing tonight?
I'm going to be singing Believe by Cher. Yes, a little different version though.
So how did you find this version?
I saw the competition and I knew I wanted to audition, and I haven't sang in a little bit.
Like how long?
Like 6 years.
You're
I haven't been
kidding.
on a stage. So it's been a while. So I did some research because I definitely like to normally go the country route. And I said, let me try something different. So I found this ballad version, and I wanted to make sure that it showed off what I could do, what I'm capable of, and kind of my range. So, yes, sir.
Well, we're really excited to hear you. So good luck. 6 years from the last time you sang in public.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
here
been
we
a while.
go. It's so good. Your voice is so great.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
look forward to hearing.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside, and I can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it, but after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Oh, do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough now. Do you believe in life after love?
Taylor.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
You know, as one of my co-judges said earlier, my senses have been stimulated.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And the reason why I say that is because you took that song from Cher and you made it your own. You did your version of that song, which I thought was beautifully done. And on top of that, you have family driving all the way from Florida to hear you sing, and now I see why.
They're the
Family.
best. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you.
And I'm thinking, too, is that, you know, you want to be a registered nurse, and I think the more you sing to your patients, that's all the medicine they're going to need. You know?
I hope so. Lord.
Great job. Awesome job. We appreciate you being here for this talent as well.
Yes,
and now
thank you.
I'm going to kick it over to Miss Janet. She's going to tell you a few things.
All right. Thank you.
A wonderful job. I love the quality of your voice.
Thank
It
you.
was very consistent throughout, which is impressive within itself, especially because that was a song that we did not expect to hear that quality on. And just like Curtis said, I love how you made it your own.
Thank you.
Obviously invested in your sensations and your feelings when you sang that. I really appreciated your commitment from the first note through the last note
Thank
and your
you.
character.
Thank you
good
so
job.
much. I really appreciate it.
DB?
Taylor, really beautiful. The thing that I appreciated most about the performance was the way that you performed the song, the way that you felt the song. You know, a lot of singers. There are a lot of good voices out there, but also people who have good voices don't always feel a song like you just did. So it was really beautiful.
Thank you.
The only thing that I would say to go further with, which I think you already did this, but I would just encourage you to keep going with it, is when you riff a lot in a song, the thing that I like that what you did is you established the melody first. You let us hear the pure melody, and then you riffed on the melody later on in the song, which is the right thing to do. But always make sure that those riffs, they mean something more than just vocal pyrotechnics.
Okay.
That there are, you know, she's either howling at the moon or screaming to her lover or whatever it is for you, make sure that they mean something.
Okay.
You did a really good job of it. Just keep going, because that separates you from other people who just like to listen to how they sound.
Okay. Well,
Yeah?
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me here.
Great.
It's been a great experience. So
Fantastic.
thank you.
So Montavious, let's learn a little bit about you. Like, where were you born?
I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas.
So how did you get from Little Rock, Arkansas to South Carolina?
Long story.
Go for it.
Went to Dallas, met a woman, now I'm here.
Yeah, that's it? Okay, that's not a long story at all. A lot of us have that story. So you lived in Dallas?
No. I went to Dallas to do a modeling convention, and then I met a woman. And then I went back home. She's actually from South Carolina.
She's a South Carolina girl.
Yeah.
Good taste. You have very good taste, right?
Yeah.
So then you mentioned that you went to a modeling convention. So do you have you have a talent agent?
I do, actually. He's based in Atlanta right now.
And so does he get you gigs doing what?
Like movie scripts and stuff like that I have to audition for, stuff like that. I've done a lot of extra work. I was an extra in the new Bad Boys 3.
Nice.
Yeah. I've done a TV show, just a lot of casting and stuff like that for like TV shows and movies.
So you're busy?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about dance. When we saw you audition, I'm like, this guy's really great. I'm not sure what he's doing, but it's amazing. So you probably have a varied history in dance.
I do.
Tell us about like when you started and how it's evolved.
Okay, so I started off trying to learn how to break dance from my mom and uncle. I know that's odd. It's imagine growing up and your mom is breakdancing and pop locking. So I learned how to do the robot from my uncle. My mom stopped dancing when I was a little bit younger, but as growing up, my uncle used to make us dance. And the best dance would get $1 or $5, something like that, out of me and my sister and brothers.
So incentive.
Yeah.
Was there any other kind of dance training before that?
Hip hop, and then when I got into high school, we had ballet. So I started taking ballet.
So what is your affiliation with MTC?
My affiliation, I'm going to MTC for network engineering.
Okay, and so what would that lead to?
LAN networking for various companies for like switches and computer network setups and stuff like that.
Are you using any of that in your own career?
Not right now.
Okay.
I'm in automotive engineering.
So do you have a real job?
Yeah, I work at Subaru.
You work on cars at Subaru?
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody out there with a Subaru, this is your guy right here. That's him. So, Mount Tegus, what is your affiliation with MTC?
I'm going for MTC for network engineering.
Network engineering?
Yeah, so basically that class teaches you how to do computer software, setting up networks for various companies, stuff like that, editing.
So you edit your own tracks?
Yeah, I do. I edit
so
my
you
own
can
tracks.
So some of that is kind of useful.
Yeah, basically it teaches you how to run programs and download programs, so it comes in handy when I'm doing my own work.
Sounds good.
So I cut and paste my own videos on YouTube and stuff like that, so it helps out a lot.
So what do you call this style of dance that you do?
I call it mix.
Okay, it's mixed. Okay, good.
It's like an
mixed.
urban mix.
And
Yeah.
so what are you going to be doing tonight?
A little bit of robot, a little bit of acting is going to be in there. I'm going to do some acting as well. Crumping, pop locking, breakdancing. It's going to be a lot.
Well, I'm really excited to see it, and they will be too. It's so good to have you here. Thanks so much.
It's really good to be here.
Let's begin. Do you know what it feels like to be strangled to death? First, you feel the pressure in your throat. And you start to taste something very sour in your mouth. Then, it's like someone lights a match right in the middle of your chest. And that fire grows. It fills your lungs and your throat, and all the way behind your eyes.
Can you hear me?
Mastermind music. Yes, we can.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or better known as ADHD, is a mental disorder that affects an individual's ability to focus, causing them to move around more frequently. They may also have trouble controlling their impulsive behaviors.
One time for them praying on my downfall. 2 times for the homies in the child hall. 3 times for them on the internet when they really should get out more. 4 times for the days that were all bad. 5 times for the ain't called back. 6 times for the kids like me who got ADHD just kidnapping like ISIS. Whoa, turn the whole world to a crisis. Whoa, walk around the city with an ice pick. I've been paranoid, usually I ain't like this. Ain't no telling how crazy I might get. Beat the police with a nightstick. In my whole life, I've been lifeless. Now I'm so fly, I'm a flight risk. Whoa, till I pass out. Whoa, throwing stones at my glass house. Whoa, I remember sleeping on my dad's couch. Whoa, now I got the Bentley and it's blacked out. Whoa, family looking at me like a cash cow. Whoa, everybody dissing just to have clout. Whoa, thought you had a chance, now you out. Them up, man, where you at now? Whoa. Now I'ma hit them till they jumping, I ain't tripping, this is nothing. I've been living in the dungeon, I done held a couple grudges. What the hell I got a duck to meet the devil, I'm a cousin. I ain't settling with nothing, got the metal in the truck and keep the semi when the bus ducking. Even Stevie Wonder couldn't see it coming, I ain't judging. I just want the money, I don't need a budget. I've been hungry, I ain't got no oven, but I got the munchies. How you gonna move on the front line?
If I don't with you, I just cut ties. My high school teacher said I'd never be to that I turned out just fine. And no, I don't know you for the 12th time. We do not share the same bloodline. You let her run your mouth like a tough guy. Hope you keep the same energy when it's crunch time.
According to the American Psychiatric Association, it affects roughly 8% of children and 2% of adults, commonly believed to only affect boys because they are perceived as rowdy and rambunctious.
Wow, that was amazing. During every performance so far today, I've been writing things that are being inspired while they're performing, except for you, because I could not take my eyes off you for 1 second. I didn't know what your intent was I'd love to know what happened in you personally by taking off the mask and the gloves.
So, this piece was symbolism of people who characterize a fit in society. So me coming out being myself, rather than hide behind a mask and pretending to be somebody else, basically.
Great. I like the fact that I got that, but I didn't get it so strongly that I couldn't put my own self into what you were doing and kind of translate it through my life. So it really, it brought me right up there with you, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. DB?
I'm really blown away. Really blown away. There are performers and there are artists. And sometimes you get a rare combination of both of those things. And that's what you are. That's extraordinary. What you did is extraordinary. And what most impressed me was, I'm a director and used to be an actor, and the acting of the piece while you were doing all of what you were doing physically, you were so in control of your emotions. The focus was just laser sharp.
Thank you.
I applaud you. I commend you. Keep doing what you're doing. That was such a pleasure to watch.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Curtis.
Montavious, like the action. Matter of fact, the opening, with the gloves and the mask and the whole 9 yards. To me, that was really creative. I like that so much. Matter of fact, I want to borrow that for Halloween since it's coming up. I got the muscles already, so I could use, Great moves. It was like crunk and hip hop kind of mixed together. Tell me about that.
So I started off in ballet, believe it or not. So then from ballet, I started doing hip hop, pop locking, tried breakdancing. I can't spit on my head, so I gave that up. So then I started crumping. I'm surprised you know what that was. People really don't do it no more, or they frown upon it, because it looks so angry, so intense. But it was a mixture of all of those combined together in this piece.
Well, you made it work. There's no question. That's what you were doing. And to have all that energy again, and of course to sit down and have to do an interview right after, can be a little difficult, but you're handling that too.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that, and we appreciate your performance today.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
So Haley, tell us a little about you and where you grew up.
Okay, I am from Gilbert, little old Gilbert. Like one stoplight. When I was growing up, there was nowhere to eat. Like in the heart of Gilbert, so.
That Gilbert. So I'm really interested in what you're going to be performing tonight, and if there's any story that might go along with it that inspired you to choose this particular song.
Okay, so I chose to sing The Joke by Brandi Carlile.
Great song.
And it means a lot to me and my family, and how we've been able to overcome obstacles with being married so young, right out of high school, with kids right out of high school. And so, you know, there's a lot of things that can get in the way. And then our oldest is autistic, so people did not expect all of us to be very much. And my kids are smart and incredible, and me and my husband are doing well.
So you flipped the narrative.
Yeah, we did.
And here you are tonight to show everybody. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't let 'em steal your joy.
Haley, your voice is stunning. Stunning. I love the tone of it. I'm a big country music fan, and that voice to me could sing all of those great country torch songs that I love so much. I'm just really, really impressed. And I love singers who know what they're singing about and aren't just a pretty voice, and you obviously really connect with the song as well. All of that really, really showed. Fantastic job. Curtis.
Thank you, DB. Haley. First off, let me say thank you for being one of the frontline workers who are doing so much to, of course, keep us safe during this pandemic. We definitely appreciate you. Secondly, let me say this. Just tailgating on the way he said, beautiful voice. Oh my gosh. Not only you sang that song, but you pulled me in. You pulled me totally into that song that you did. And on top of that, the emotion that you sang it with, again, I felt that too, which was really, really, really good. If there was an audience right here, you'd actually be getting a standing ovation. I believe that without a shadow of a doubt because of the way you sang that song. I really appreciate it. I really do. And I say thank you for that song and thank you for what you do. Keep doing that. You're making me feel good. Not only me, but I guarantee you all these judges too. And with that being said, Janet.
That was a fabulous performance. I am so sorry you're ill. The dedication that you have to perform, even when you're not 100%, is amazing, especially with what you were able to do. By the time you got to the very tail end of the song, man, I saw that bite in your eyes that I know I've had at times too, where it's like you were saying, you know what? Right for you, buddy. I loved the intent behind it. The voice was fabulous. As you went up, you really found that sweet spot in the voice, especially being sick. That was a fabulous job. If I was going to be really picky, I would say make sure that when you're not singing, you stay with that intensity and that connection to your emotion so we never have to drop and come back to it. But fabulous job. Thank you for sharing your voice.
And here we are at the end of the show. How about that? Was that some amazing talent or what? We are all just blown away. The judges, what a tough job they have. And now you have to vote, right? Don't forget. Thank you so much, judges, for being here tonight. It's been a wonderful experience, and I hope you at home have had a great time. We've had a wonderful time putting this together. We couldn't have done it without the judges, without our fabulous contestants, and quite frankly, without our MTC family. I am so honored to work at this beautiful theater and work for MTC, a college that supports one another. And we've been really, really lucky to work together on this project. So I want to take a minute and thank some important folks. Certainly my team, Chris, Christine, Deborah, and Joe. The media services team of the college. They do a phenomenal job on lots of projects, but they really, really worked hard on this. Barbara and her staff, thank you so, so much. And over in marketing, Lee and his crew putting all the graphics together, doing good stuff. We appreciate them all the time. And last, but certainly not least, the producer of tonight's wonderful show, the one and only Larry Hembry. Many of you have worked with Larry probably over the years as he's been a mainstay in the Columbia area, working with Columbia Children's Theater now and helping them. So Larry, we appreciate all that you did. I know you worked closely with these contestants to get their talent ready for tonight, and they really enjoyed you. So we appreciate all your time and energy and the efforts you bring to the arts. It was a real, true team effort. And you know what? Through these tough and dark times, being around friendly faces and people that you care about and that care about you means an awful lot. So thank you so very much. And thank you at home for watching, for supporting your friends, your family, your coworkers, and Harbison Theater. And now you know what to do. You have to go vote. HarbisonTheater.org/showoff. The winners will be announced on November 12th. We're so delighted you were with us. Go vote. Relax. Thanks for watching. Remember, our season is officially postponed until January of 21. We do have an exciting event coming up planned for November, which will be an outdoor drive-in concert. So we want you to stay tuned for those details. In the meantime, go vote, stay safe, stay well. Know we miss you, and we'll see you soon.